Hello everybody. Give me just a second. I don't have the chat pod open. I'll merge though. I will merge. Hello! I no longer look like a blueprint. Hello everybody. I actually don't have any of the props I had planned for this on. That's because, believe it or not, I had to do a grocery run right before this. Technically, I was the one who thought I had time and that we could do it in time. I was quickly proven wrong. We did not have time. It was very rushed. But I am quickly attempting, make up for that by quickly putting on all the stuff. We can take the puppet out. That is a thing we can currently do. We can take out the puppet. Hold on, there's a lot of stuff I gotta figure out. Okay. Because believe it or not, there's a lot that goes into this. Why'd I do that? I hope all your days have been good. Hope everything's going well. Hope it's all been nice. Hoping you're having a nice time, whatever you're doing. Well, bam! This usually happened before, but perfect. It doesn't get in the way of anything. And we also have other stuff that we have to grab. Somewhere in there. Gotta find it. What's it called? Okay. I just have to find like the PNG. And the proper one at that. Okay, just drop it in there. And there we go. I realize I'm not actually standing on anything. And now, not only do I have a mask, but so does the pig. Now we're ready for the ball. That's right, folks. We're going to the ball. We're gonna go to the ball. We're going there. It's happening. You all were waiting for the day when we go to the ball, and I said it would be one day. And you know what? That day is today. We're going to a ball. I'm not going to say more. I thought it was pretty obvious from the thumbnail. But, yeah. Hey, penguin! Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. It's been a while. Been a hot minute. But welcome in. Hope you're doing well. But we're back. We're gonna do the story. I'm prepared. This is one that's slightly different than other ones I've done in the past. Like, just a little bit. Glad to be back. Oh, we're happy to have you back. Alright. I just arrived just in time for the story. I can now dim the lights. I think that's about good. Put myself in the little spot that I usually am. And prepare to tell a story. So this story starts out like all other stories do, at my house. It starts there. Now, I had woken up this morning and everything seemed pretty normal. It was fine morning, nothing bad. It was a pretty standard morning, you know. I get up. A lot of people do it in the morning. I go and eat some breakfast. That's also pretty normal. I step outside and take some fresh air. Some people don't do that, but I did. And I get whacked over the head and knocked unconscious. That doesn't happen too often. And then I woke up when it seemed to be in like a kind of interrogation room. Yeah. What started out as a normal morning quickly became a strange one. I was concerned. I said, captors, people who have captured me, let me be free. I do not deserve to be in this prison, this room. And then I heard it. A familiar voice from way back in my past. You cannot leave the room, war veteran pig. Is that who I think it is? It is indeed. Sergeant Chipmunk. Yo, Sergeant. Sergeant Chipmunk. Oh my gosh. You know, his name was actually Sergeant Chipmunk, so his full title is Sergeant Chipmunk. But people just call him Sergeant Chipmunk because he doesn't like being called Sergeant Chipmunk. He just thinks it's repetitive. But that's beside the point. Sergeant Chipmunk was here, and I said, Sergeant Chipmunk, why did you knock me out? Why am I here? Why was I knocked unconscious? And he looks at me and just says, Wolverine and Pig, we have a secret mission for you. And I thought for a second, I hadn't done a secret mission in a couple of weeks. This was it had to be big. I said, alright, what's the secret mission? And he said, you know that big fancy mansion down the way? Yeah, down the street, past the apple orchard, all that? Yeah, that big mansion. Presumably, the person who lived there, the person and people, they have a ball every so often. A big ball, a nice ball. But also, the people who live there have been known and are often believed to have stolen hundreds upon thousands of gold in the past. It's a crime family. It's not nice. They're not friendly people. They may seem friendly, but they're not. So what am I supposed to do about it? Well, if they've stolen all the money, and that is actually our money through the banks, then we have a problem. You need me to go into the ball and take the money back that was stolen from you. Exactly. Or at least give us access to the vault. We know there's a vault at the lowest level of the mansion. So it is a mansion. It's very large, hard to navigate, and very confusing, and full of strange people. We ask you to be careful, Warburton Pig. We're going as undercover. Well, by name be War Soldier Pig. I like this name. I think no one will recognize me. We have an invite set for you, War Veteran Pig. You'll go in as War Soldier Pig and disguise yourself among the people there. Alrighty. When do I leave? 20 minutes. I'm gonna go. And so I left. Headed off in the direction that I was pointed in. War Soldier Pig was ready to go out and do his thing. I knew this would be a dangerous mission. So I put on my finest suit. And I put on my finest mask. And I prepared to head out to the fancy ball. In fact, I was originally calling it the fancy ball because I didn't know what its name was. It turns out it's just called the fancy ball. People who live there aren't very creative, apparently. But that's besides the point. I arrived upon the gates and entered through the front door of the mansion. A guard looking me up and down. Just kind of, yeah, you can go in. Thank you, Sir God. And so, in I went. Into the mansion. And there were people. Just kind of chattering. A little music playing quietly. In the background. You could hear it gently in the background. It was quite nice, in fact. And there were people dancing, and mingling. And I walked among them. Hello. Hello, sir. Nice to meet you. And eventually I came across a man who seemed like he knew the place. He was a servant. And I said, excuse me, sir. Is there any access to the vault? I'm here to inspect some of the money. This is part of the job. I've been invited here for that. And the servant kind of just looked at me and just went, no, sir. No access to the vault is allowed. Sure. Sure, we can't get in there at all? No, sir. That's completely impossible. Now, why is that? Well, sir, the vault is tightly secured. It requires a fingerprint and a voice access from the lady herself. And who is this lady herself? Well, no one actually quite knows her name, but she's the owner of this place. She often views it from up there on the balcony. Up at the balcony, I saw a woman staring down, also wearing a mask. Her eyes not really visible through the mask. It was like she was covering her face. And I kind of gave a little, I gave a little wave, and she just looked at me and just did a little nod to herself and walked off. Now, I don't know what that was about, but the ball seemed nice enough. Nothing too bad was happening. It was all pretty nice, all things considered. So, now knowing that I needed some access via her, I had to do one simple thing. Bribe her. I'm usually pretty good at bribes, but I feel like this one's be a little tougher. And so I said, excuse me, mister, can you tell me anything more about the mistress, about the lady herself? Well, no, sir, I cannot. Little is known about her, and few dare approach her. She is strange among the people. No one knows much about her. So this is her mansion, and we stay here. Thank you, sir. I'll take that tequila. That's champagne, so. Blend in, just like natural. And so I began to walk around a little more. Just to see. I made my way up the stairs a little bit. And then I saw her standing there on the balcony. And I walked over and I said, "Excuse me, ma'am." And she just kind of turned to me silently and said, "Hello. I don't believe I know who you are." The name is War Soldier Pig. I got invited here. I have an invitation. It's so nice to meet you, War Soldier Pig. I don't remember inviting you. And, well, you see, I got invited. Oh, I'm just pulling your leg here. I can't remember all the people I invite. There's so many numbers. Right, of course. Yeah, a lot of people. So, I'm just here enjoying the ball. I was just kind of curious. I've heard a couple rumors and such. Heard something great things about this place. There's a lot of secrets, a lot of nooks, a lot of crannies. I heard there's a great vault beneath it all. I'm honestly kind of curious as to what's down there. But you are? I am. I mean, I've heard many tales, untold riches, just some few gems and such. Some say there's nothing there. Some say it harbors some great power. I don't know. No. I'm just kind of curious is all. I can't help but wonder what's in a vault underneath a house like this. And she kind of looked at me and she went, "I suppose they can't." Though I am sad to say that the vault is closed off. To all. Yeah, I've heard that a lot. Oh well. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your kindness. You sure I can't go in there? I am sure, Mr. War Soldier Pig. Okay. Not even a little bribe of any kind. Oh, what were you offering? I could pay you. I could help you out in the mansion. I could do something, you know? And those intrigue you? No, but I was simply wanting to hear you try and find something. You're a sneaky one. I like that. I'm gonna go back down to the bar. That is a good decision, Mr. War Soldier Pig. What did you call me there for a second? You called me something else. What do you mean? For a second, you nearly had a V in that sentence. There's no V in soldier. Of course. Just an honest mistake. I'm sure you understand. Right. Yeah, I'll head up back down. After that kind of uncomfortable encounter, I head back down and the music itself came to a stop as the lady herself stood up on the balcony and spoke loudly into a microphone. "Excuse me, my dear people here. I always appreciate you coming to this ball. It was always such an honor to be surrounded by friends, either new or old. People of this town, people from far away, or just random strangers who wandered in here." And there's a little bit of a chuckle among the crowd. But above all else, I am thankful. thankful to know all of you. And I'm just hoping that you all have such a wondrous time here at the ball. And that, though I do know that the vault can be tempting to access, to try and find a way in, but I can assure you that it is cut off entirely, surrounded by guards. So, if any thieves were to enter tonight's ball, they will be thrown out if they even dare step foot near the vault. Enjoy the ball. And there's a round of applause, a couple woos, and the music kicked up again. She knows more than she's letting on. She knows about me. More champagne, Mr. War. Georgia Pig. Actually, yeah, I wouldn't mind any champagne. Hey, say, who all here has access to the lower levels? Oh, I'm not quite allowed to say that, sir. Oh, please, I'm a soldier here, okay? What do you think I'm gonna do? You heard the lady. It's cut off entirely. Well, I mean, I have some access. I have to go down there in order to get some more wine and things like that for people. Okay. Worth noting. Alright. Thank you, sir. What do you mean, worth noting? I don't mean anything by it. And I pat him on the shoulder and walk away. I kind of stood close to him as I pat him on the shoulder. He looked a little confused. Kind of looking at me. For a moment, I waved. Well. And he eventually decided, yeah, must be nothing. And then, from there, I pulled out, once I got a little further away, the card. The key card I had taken off of him as I pat him on the back. I pat him on the back and I reached down and I plucked him gently. Now all that was required was a fingerprint. You see, during that whole speech, the music had cut out. Meaning that I had got a clear recording of the lady's voice. Loud and clear. And so now all that was left was to go down into the vault and obviously avoid like some superstition, some people who could watch me and see me go down there. I had done my fair share of secret missions. I know how these work. I walked around and I said, excuse me, sir, I said to a man in a suit. I said, excuse me, do you know where the bathrooms are? I really would appreciate just go to the bathroom. Could you perhaps show me? He said, oh yes, certainly. And he led me towards the bathroom. And I said, all right, sir. I'm gonna be completely honest here. I'm gonna need your clothes. You're going to what? I'm going to need your clothes, sir. Sir, I don't. Listen, I know I may seem attractive, but this is not the right place, not the right time. Listen, just maybe not now. Maybe just we could do it later somewhere else. Maybe like your house or someplace or mine, or just somewhere other than here in front of a bunch of people. We could in the I didn't intend for this to go this way, but I ran with it. Well, sir, why not just go in the bathroom? It's private. No, I'm really saying we should not do that here. It's not right. I don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Alright, fine. Yeah, I'll leave you alone. If we just swap clothes. I can be in your clothes for a little bit. I can think about you so that we don't forget each other, okay? I think that would be nice. If I do that, will you leave me alone? Yes, sir, I will. Yes, sir, I will leave you alone if I do that. Great. That is fantastic to hear. Listen, okay. Pop into the bathroom, swap clothes, and we'll be on our merry way. Precisely, sir. And we quickly went in there, and about a few minutes later, I came back out in a brand new suit. I had gloves on. I didn't quite walk with my hooves, but I wore them anyway. And I decided, hey, now's a good time. Let's go see what's down there. And so I began to walk towards the kitchen area. A waiter sat down his tray for a minute, walked off. I picked it up as to present myself as a waiter. I dared not look in the direction of the lady herself. I knew she was watching. She had been the entire time. She knew what I was doing. So of course, in order to go down there, I still needed that fingerprint. And so I walked into the kitchen, and I walked back out after a short little bit. And I walked up the stairs, and I said, "Excuse me, ma'am. Would you like any, like champagne or anything? I have some champagne here. This one's specifically made for you. I just wanted to show my gratitude." "Oh, thank you, dear servant. Say, you look quite familiar." "Oh, shucks. You're mistaking me for someone else. A lot of people look like pigs here. I mean, that came out wrong, but you get my point, ma'am. There are plenty of anthropomorphic pigs at balls these days." And she kind of just chuckled and just said, yes there are." And I handed her the champagne, and she drank it and just kind of stood there for a minute. "This, I'm sorry, sir, this doesn't taste very good. Truly, I'm sorry. I really do wish to enjoy the champagne you have given me. But please, if you want, just take this back." "Of course, ma'am, of course." And so I took it back. So I kept the glass. Took a little tape, laid it on there, and bam! Next thing you knew, I had a fingerprint. And as the next song started to kick on, I saw my opportunity. Everyone was out there dancing and having a jolly time. And I said, okay. Alright, let's head on down. And so I swiped my key card in the nearby slot, and the door clicked open. And it closed behind me, and with that, all noise stopped. I opened the door again. Start back up again. Close the door. It was soundproof. The entire room back here was soundproof. Not a thing outside could be heard. That kind of frightened me a little bit. I didn't know what to expect. But walking around a little more, I quickly came across a room. A room that was empty. an empty room. We had the wine cellar before, but this was an empty room. And in this room were stairs. Stairs leading down. I walked down the stairs. There was another door. And yet another empty room. Each key card swipe became more loud and more intense as we walked down. Even the sound of the previous room above was cut out entirely. Not a thing could be heard beyond these rooms. As I walked further, the walls began to grow more old, more desolate, broken down. Made of what originally started as concrete quickly became stone, and vines grew on the walls. Pillars instead of support beams for the stairs. All leading down. Down and down and down. Until we came across a final door with 2 guards in front of it. And they said, "Excuse me, sir, Mr. Servant, we don't believe you're allowed to be down here." "Oh, my bad, sirs. It's simply gotten lost. I don't know where this is. I don't know how I got here. Yeah, it's confusing." "Sir, you are not allowed to be down here. You walk down 5 rooms full of stairs to get down here." That I did. You know, that's a very funny thing. "Okay, do you guys want any champagne?" And I took the giant plate in my hand and I smacked one of them in the face with it. He fell over unconscious, and I splashed the champagne on the other guy and just said, I'm going through." I didn't want to knock out the second one too much. Yeah, it's too much. I kind of wanted to knock him out a little bit. So what I did instead was I just kind of opened the door and it whacked into him a little bit, and he fell over. I just put a little champagne in his hand, and "Here's the champagne, sir. Enjoy." And I walked through the door, and there was a golden vault. A room made purely out of gold. And I walked up towards it. And I then saw it. The spot to put the voice in, the spot for the fingerprint. I saw it all. I put the fingerprint on. I played the audio recording of her talking. And as I was about to go open the door, I heard a sound of the door opening behind me. Someone had left all the doors open as they went down, clearly in some kind of hurry. You could hear the vault music very faintly in the distance. And I turned around and I saw her. A woman. The lady herself. Still wearing her mask covering her entire face. And she just stared at me. And just said, "Don't you dare open that door." Why? I've been sent here on a secret mission by Sergeant Chipmunk. You have been stealing gold and money. This, I have come here to prove it. Listen, Sergeant Pig. You don't know what you're messing with. Oh, I don't? I don't know what I'm messing with. But how about you explain to me what exactly I'm messing with? Because for me, it seems like there's a vault here, which presumably has millions of dollars in it. Woven a big. I implore you to reconsider your thoughts. Don't open the vault, and no one shall be harmed. No one shall be harmed. Wow. Listen, lady, I've been sent here on a mission. I plan to go out with it. And so I quickly grab at the handle to turn the vault open. But then she stopped me. I began to pull it the other way. I started pulling it back. And back and forth. Until I broke my one rule. One of my main rules. Sometimes you gotta do it. I don't like doing it, but sometimes it's necessary. I hit a woman. I kicked her right in the side, and she went off to the side, and I quickly spun the door open, and as if on some weird cue, the music just stopped. And I opened the vault, and I stared. And I didn't know what I saw. There were many things that I thought could be on the other side of that vault. Gold. Riches. I don't know. Some kind of treasure thing, but there was just nothing. And not like a normal kind of nothing. Nothing that had shape. A nothing that could be seen. Something, just a void. And I turned to the lady herself, her mask now having fallen off. Her wrinkled and old face. The bones behind it, the bones visible. The crackles and shapes of the dark magic she had used, visible on it. What have you done? You've released it. Listen, lady, I don't know what is in here, but I think it looks like pretty stationary to me. And I turned around, and the nothing was gone. It would have been let out. Something had been there. I don't quite know if nothing could quite describe it, but something had been there. And the lady said, "You fool! You've doomed us all. All of us at this ball." What did I do? What did I do? That creature in there. We found it. We worshipped it. We kept it in here, gave it gold, and in turn, it gave us eternal life. It has powers beyond your comprehension. It looks something beyond your comprehension. Only through insanity can you truly, really believe that you can see it. Otherwise, the belief of something so complex simply makes you go mad. Listen, lady, you confuse me a lot. I think you look kind of weird. I don't quite like it. And I don't know what to do with this. You fool. You arrogant fool. Are you just gonna keep repeating yourself, or are you gonna say something new? Because I feel like you just keep on insulting me. We shall all perish now. Our eternal life is over. Goodbye, war veteran pig. Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing this thing out into the world and seizing our immortality. Stopping it in its tracks. You shall pay for this. Thank you. And then she just fell over and quickly turned to dust. And I stood there for a minute. I got some mixed messages in there. Feel as if I couldn't quite tell if he was thanking me was sarcastic or not. I don't quite know. But I'm gonna safely assume you were being sarcastic. The pile of ashes did not respond. And I decided, okay, well, that was eventful. I walked back the way I came. The gods had also turned to dust. I grabbed the champagne and I drank it for myself. I walked up. And there were a few people looking around, confused, unsure of what happened. The band was gone. The servants were gone. But it was, I wouldn't say total confusion. Some people were just unsure of what went down. And I also kind of unsure. We didn't find any gold, any treasure. But it was definitely an interesting experience. Something mysterious had happened. And I walked out. Walked out of that mansion. And I kind of just sat there on the steps a little bit. And then I was approached from the side. A small orange creature. A little cat-like. Like as if he was attempting to be like a mix between a cat and like a red panda kind of thing. Kind of sat down beside me. And just said, well, that was eventful. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it was. Now, I've never been to balls much. After going to this one, I don't think I care for them very much either. Yeah. That's fair. You don't seem too surprised that a bunch of people turned to dust. I'm not. I've seen plenty of weird things. Yeah. Me too. Well, it's nice meeting you, stranger. I'm gonna head back home. Nice meeting you too. And off I walked. I walked back home. And I told Sergeant Chipmunk what had happened. And so he believed me, luckily. And though we never found the gold on that day, it did appear all the gold had suddenly returned to all the banks and all the places it was stolen from. Just like overnight, like as if something came in there and just quickly put it all back. And I went, it was a mystery I couldn't quite solve at the time. I was happy that all worked out in the end. At least one way or another. And that is the end of the story. That was a very different story than what we usually do. That was a very more mystery based and a little more spy-esque. But which is definitely not at all influenced by the fact that I've been playing a lot of Blueprints. Definitely not. No. Blueprints has nothing to do with it. It did not influence this story whatsoever. So Friday we're going to be playing more Blueprints. Okay. Alright, thank you everyone. Thank you for coming to the stream. As always, I always have to open it. I should open it before stream. But, as always, if you ever wish to send in your own like little prompts, it doesn't have to be a big thing. I always just go off like a very small, simple prompt. You can, at this form, you want to fill out the form, submit your own ideas, something you just want me to make an improv story out of, you can submit it there, and I'll probably do it the following week. So thank you everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm headed back out to space. If you're in space, I'll see you there. And if not, you know, maybe there's a ball nearby. Maybe we can go hang out there.